Hello, future chemists. Welcome to an exciting journey into the world of chemical bonding and molecular structure. Today, we are diving deep into a fascinating concept, resonance. Have you ever wondered why some molecules behave in ways that a simple drawing can't explain? Resonance holds the key. We'll explore this concept across 4 levels of depth, from easy introductions to competitive insights, preparing you thoroughly for your G-Main exam. Let's get started. Ready to unravel the basic mystery of molecule stability? Let's begin our easy-level exploration of resonance. Imagine you're trying to draw a molecule, but no single drawing seems quite right. That's where resonance comes in. It's a conceptual tool where we use multiple Lewis structures, called resonance structures or canonical forms, to describe the true bonding in a molecule or ion. The actual molecule isn't any one of these drawings, but rather a hybrid of all of them. Think of it like a blended color that can't be perfectly represented by just one of its component shades. We use this concept because a single Lewis structure often fails to accurately depict the observed properties, such as equal bond lengths when different bond types are expected. So, why is this concept so important? Take the carbonate ion, CO3-2. If you draw a single Lewis structure, you'd have one carbon-oxygen double bond and two carbon-oxygen single bonds. But experiments show all 3 CO bonds are identical and intermediate in length. Resonance explains this. The double bond character is spread, or delocalized, over all 3 CO bonds. Key characteristics: resonance structures are hypothetical, only electrons move, not atoms. They must have the same number of valence electrons, and they're linked by a special double-headed arrow. Ozone, O3, is another great example, showing two equivalent resonance structures leading to equal O bond lengths. Now it's your turn to test your understanding. Here are 3 practice questions to solidify what you've learned. Take a moment to read each question carefully and choose the best answer. Don't worry if you need to review the concepts, that's part of the learning process. Good luck! Alright, let's deepen our understanding of resonance. We are moving to the medium level, where we'll explore more detailed aspects. At this level, we focus on the resonance hybrid, the real molecule, which is more stable than any single resonance structure. This extra stability is called resonance energy. The more effective resonance structures a molecule has, the more stable it generally is. But how do we draw these structures correctly? There are specific rules. Atoms don't move, only pi electrons or lone pairs do. The overall charge must remain the same, and each structure must be a valid Lewis structure, ideally with complete octets. Minimizing formal charges and placing negative charges on more electronegative atoms also makes a structure more significant. Not all resonance structures are created equal. Some contribute more to the overall hybrid than others. The stability of a resonance structure dictates its contribution. Structures with complete octets for all atoms are usually the most stable. Maximizing the number of covalent bonds also increases stability. Furthermore, minimizing formal charges and avoiding charge separation, if possible, leads to more stable and significant contributors. And remember, negative charges prefer to sit on more electronegative atoms, while positive charges prefer less electronegative ones. This helps us prioritize which structures are most important. Let's consider the carboxylate ion, RCO. It has 2 equally significant resonance structures where the negative charge and the pi bond are delocalized over both oxygen atoms. This delocalization is why both CO bonds are identical in length, lying between a single and a double bond, and why carboxylate ions are quite stable. This concept is fundamental to understanding the properties and reactivity of many organic compounds. Mastering these rules and examples will significantly improve your ability to apply resonance in various chemical contexts. Time to practice what you've learned at the medium level. Here are 5 questions designed to challenge your understanding of resonance rules, stability, and contributing structures. Take your time, think critically, and apply the principles we've just discussed. This practice is crucial for building a strong foundation in chemical bonding. Now, let's elevate our game. We are stepping into the hard level, where we'll tackle more intricate aspects of resonance. At the hard level, we look at resonance energy more quantitatively. It's the energy difference between the actual molecule and its most stable single Lewis structure. For example, benzene's resonance energy is quite substantial, explaining its exceptional stability. This energy difference can be estimated by comparing experimental data, like heats of hydrogenation, with theoretical predictions. We also distinguish between major and minor contributing structures. Major contributors are those that are more stable, typically having complete octets and minimal formal charges. The resonance hybrid more closely resembles these major contributors, making their identification crucial. Resonance has profound effects on molecular geometry. It leads to the equalization of bond lengths that would otherwise be distinct in individual Lewis structures. Benzene is a classic example. All its carbon-carbon bonds are identical, intermediate between single and double bonds, a direct consequence of pi electron delocalization. This also influences bond angles by redistributing electron density. Crucially, we differentiate resonance from tautomerism. Resonance involves only electron movement within a fixed atomic framework, leading to hypothetical structures of a single molecule. Tautomerism, however, involves the actual shift of atoms, usually hydrogen and pi bonds, resulting into distinct, interconvertible isomers. Connecting resonance to molecular orbital (MO) theory provides a deeper insight. While resonance uses Lewis structures, MO theory describes delocalization more accurately through delocalized molecular orbitals that span multiple atoms. For instance, in benzene, the p orbitals of all 6 carbons overlap to form a continuous pi cloud, representing the delocalized electrons. Resonance theory serves as a simplified, yet powerful, approximation of this MO concept. Understanding this connection bridges the gap between simpler models and advanced quantum mechanical descriptions of bonding, enriching your overall comprehension of chemical structures. It's time for some challenging practice. These 7 questions will test your analytical skills and your ability to apply resonance concepts to more complex scenarios. Think about resonance energy, major contributors, and the distinctions we've discussed. Solving these will significantly boost your confidence for the GMAIN exam. Welcome to the ultimate challenge. This is the hardest level of resonance, designed to give you a competitive edge and engineering insight for GMAIN and beyond. At this advanced stage, precisely evaluating the significance of resonance structures is key. Prioritize structures with complete octets for all atoms, especially second-period elements. Maximizing covalent bonds and minimizing formal charges are critical. Also, ensure negative charges are on more electronegative atoms and positive charges on less electronegative ones. Avoid adjacent-like charges, as they indicate highly unstable, insignificant contributors. This detailed evaluation helps us accurately predict molecular properties and reactivity. We also differentiate between extended conjugation, which is a continuous chain of alternating bonds providing strong stabilization, and cross-conjugation, where a branch interrupts the main conjugated path, generally offering less stabilization. Resonance is indispensable in understanding reactive intermediates. Carbocations, carbanions, and free radicals are significantly stabilized by resonance, where the charge or unpaired electron is delocalized over multiple atoms. This delocalization reduces their inherent reactivity and increases their lifetime, making them crucial in reaction mechanisms. For example, the stability of allyl carbocations is a direct result of resonance. This concept is also fundamental in organic reaction mechanisms, like electrophilic aromatic substitution, where resonance explains substituent directing effects and the stability of the intermediate sigma complex. Electron donating groups stabilize the positive charge, directing to ortho-para positions, while electron withdrawing groups destabilize it, directing to meta positions. It's vital to distinguish resonance from hyperconjugation. Both are electron delocalization phenomena, but resonance involves pi electrons or lone pairs in p orbitals, while hyperconjugation involves sigma electrons from CH or C to C bonds interacting with adjacent empty p orbitals, partially filled p orbitals, or pi systems. Resonance is generally a stronger stabilizing effect, but hyperconjugation is crucial for stabilizing carbocations and alkenes. Furthermore, for resonance to be effective, the involved p orbitals must be coplanar to ensure maximum orbital overlap. This geometric requirement influences the conformational preferences of molecules, favoring arrangements that allow for optimal delocalization, such as the Estran's conformation in conjugated dienes. Understanding resonance profoundly impacts our comprehension of chemical stability, reactivity, and structure. It's not just a theoretical concept but a practical tool for predicting reaction pathways and designing new molecules. From explaining the acidity of carboxylic acids to the aromaticity of benzene, resonance provides a unifying framework. It connects seamlessly with advanced concepts like molecular orbital theory, offering a more complete picture of electron distribution. Mastering resonance is not just about passing an exam. It's about developing an intuitive understanding of how electrons behave in molecules, a skill that will serve you throughout your chemistry journey, especially in organic and inorganic chemistry. You've made it to the ultimate challenge. Here are the first 5 questions for the hardest level. These questions demand a deep understanding and application of all the resonance concepts we've covered. Take your time, analyze each scenario, and apply the most advanced principles to arrive at the correct answers. This is where your competitive edge truly sharpens. And here are the remaining 5 questions to complete your hardest level challenge. These problems push the boundaries of your knowledge, asking you to connect various concepts, predict outcomes, and provide detailed justifications. Successfully tackling these questions means you've truly mastered the topic of resonance. Keep pushing your limits and strive for excellence. Congratulations on completing this comprehensive journey through resonance. From basic definitions to advanced applications in reaction mechanisms, you've covered it all. Remember, consistent practice is key to excelling in GME. For more such in-depth educational content, practice questions, and personalized learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting chemistry lessons. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep aiming for success.